I lost my place to live, I lost my job, everything.
I was in prison and they released me in Milton Keynes. That's how I arrived there.
I lived all over the place over there through working, and 10 years ago found myself homeless on the streets.
I was in so much debt. Everybody basically knocked on the door like the bailies.
Worked at M&S for 2 weeks, and when I got made homeless, I said to work, I said, look, I can't work here no more. I can't let your customers see me on the street and then see me behind the till. It's not fair.
I become homeless. Obviously, I was homeless when my mum passed away because I had to obviously give up the house that we were living in.
Obviously, I was under probation when I got out, and probation gave me nothing. Probation put me on the street.
I was literally working, go to work, go home, go to work, go home, and I lost my job, and now it's a bit fucking shit, literally, because I was literally in full-time work for so long, and it just comes to an end. It's like, shit, what do you do? Like, you've had that stabilisation for so long, and then it just comes to an end. Seriously, it's a big shock.
I've done engineering work for about 14 years when I left school. I've done work experience in a motorbike shop. So basically, yeah, as I left school, I had a job for about 14 years, and obviously I was living with my mum, my parents at the time, but obviously she passed away in 1999. So obviously that's hit me quite hard from since then. I had a daughter born in 2006 with a partner of mine, and obviously we're not together anymore. And obviously I don't get to see her now from the age of 6, so obviously that's quite soul destroying for me to not see her grow up. Yeah.
At the moment, the council is making a decision whether to home me or not. I don't know what the outcome of that's going to be. Obviously I hope I'm going to get home, but at the minute it's sort of like on a knife edge, so I don't know at the minute.
But I said to them, I said, look, why am I going to turn up when I'm smelly? I work in a retail shop, you know, like, you can't be smelling and stuff. Yeah, well, we're going to clean the clothes or we work uniform.
And then I got married, like you do, and then I was married till I think it was about eight years, and then after that I lost everything, and then I went on the streets of sexual. I was on park benches.
I was working obviously, and obviously due to the break-up and obviously my mum and all that stuff, and that it affected me in quite a way of an illness, mental illness. Depression started setting in. Working was up, down, sometimes out of control, sometimes. So it took a big, strong hold on my life and stuff.
If I have that power, if a nice place, then forget all of it, put behind me. So no more fighting, I had enough. The last 10 years, I'm tired of it.
I dislike the homeless situation because we're apparently, I think we're quite high in the ratings now.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think it's just Milton Keynes. I think it's just Britain as a whole.
I like Milton Keynes obviously because I was born in Milton Keynes, but I just think that Milton Keynes is just different. It's a different area, you know. There's no help. I don't think there's no help out there. And if you ask for help, sometimes people just look at you. Like when you're passing by, I've seen people when I've been up the city, and I've seen like posh people walk past looking at the homeless and that as if they're like scum.
I think it's different from a normal town. It's laid out different. I think there's a lot of work here and there's a lot of opportunities here. I think that the houses are expensive here also, and I think there's a problem with accommodation. Although that there's a lot of money in the place. There's a lot of people without money, and I've heard Milton Keynes is going to get bigger. It's going to expand to twice its size, and I think on one side that's good because there's going to be even more money, it's going to be even more richer, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, there's also the poor people, and as Milton Keynes gets bigger, is it going to leave those poor people behind?
It's home, but it's not what it used to be. So I think it's become too much like London. Birmingham become more of a city rather than a town and a community.
It's got worse. I moved there 10 years ago, and to be honest, you hardly ever seen anyone. But now you walk down the subways and especially towards the railway station, you get trolleys, you get trolleys, you get tents. It's everywhere. I know an old guy who pushes the trolley, you know what I mean? He's been on the street since I come here, and I talk to him regularly. They all call him Trolley Michael.
I think it's a good place. Yeah, it's grown from when I see it before to how it is now. It's grown quite big and dramatically, and it's grown quite fast.
I find it hard to get accommodation here. I think there's a problem with accommodation in Milton Keynes. Yeah, I do. I think there's a big problem because wherever I go I see people sleeping under underpasses, and I've been down a night shelter and there's a lot of people who are worried. So I think that's a problem with Milton Keynes.
I do hate it at the moment. I used to love it.
And sometimes I see the people who give me hassle, so it makes me a little bit, uncomfortable. So that's the case in trying to afford all that stuff.
I was on the street for about 3 months, from November till the end of January. It's freezing, absolutely freezing.
That's why I've got severe things in my back now for sleeping well.
Oh, through the years, I've done at least 10, 12 years on the streets. From when I was young until, you know what I mean, I was growing up and that. So a long time then. And I can just see what it's doing to people now.
So it's kind of getting flashbacks when I go up there. So to afford that, I go somewhere else.
You can't see right, you can't function right, you can't work right, you can't do nothing like that.
I stepped off off and on for about 10 years.
Because I used to have a key worker to come with me, so people got families and stuff like that to assist them. Just me alone, don't have nobody. So then the key worker is gone somewhere else, and then she works somewhere else. I can't see her.
Sleeping routines, it's all over the place. Health issues which I have now, IBS, something with irritable bowel syndrome, nausea, which obviously I have sleeping deprivations where I sleep through the day, then I'm up at night, and then sometimes I won't sleep for a day or two. So yeah, that's affected me in a big way.
I used to do the parks, the benches, but Fridays and Saturdays I didn't go in the city. I used to leave the city because it wasn't safe at night.
I'm all over the place at the moment. All over the place. I'm in swept now, but after next week I'm going to be back on that concrete floor again.
Me, I do the soup kitchens, and then I do the night showers.
There's not a lot of support out there for young males like myself and single males that who want to get back into work and who want to do this, or just the fact that you just can't. The people just house them. They're asking for help. Give it to them.
There's a couple of lads that I know, I wouldn't get emotional in a minute, because I think I've got a couple of friends of mine who died on the streets in the last 10 years that I tried to help out, but they died on the streets. They literally froze to death. Well, drug addiction as well. But being on the streets, it drove them to their addictions. You know what I mean? So it just makes me feel so frustrated and angry inside.
Because it blocks a lot of their thoughts and their memories out, and it does keep you warm, you know. And it does, surprisingly enough, like a little doses of it will probably keep you alive, honestly. But this is where these people do too much and go overboard.
Some of them are suicidal, so I'll talk them out of it, most of them. So it's not very easy, because now, especially now, because you've got a lot of girls out there, and it's not safe for the girls out there now. So sort of young as 18, 19-year-olds, it's not good for them, because they're vulnerable.
Well, I'm diagnosed as like a chronic alcoholic. I've got like it's mental illness, not quite schizophrenia, but often I thought, well, I might be going a bit schizo, I'm a bit worried about that, you know. And but I certainly still do worry about it. But I see people on the streets who've got to know Milton Keynes, and they're turning out like I did, you know what I mean?
It's really difficult in mixing with all the other homelessness and not getting yourself into drugs or alcohol or any sort of crime. When you're in a situation where you've got no money and you've got nothing to lose, that's when it becomes difficult in socialising and getting yourselves in the right group, so you can then succeed.
I'm mainly a drinker, you see, but the amount of rubbish you get off people out there, you call him you a tramp, go and get a job, call him spitting on you, trying to beat you up. It's all the mental abuse that makes it. If you don't drink or take drugs, you need to numb yourself, otherwise you'll crack up. It numbs you up, you see. It's that of abuse, they're calling you a tramp, they're calling you this and that, and they're physically attacking you.
That's why most of them do it, because it blocks out the anger and the cold, and then that's how most of them do things themselves, because they want to. Some of them don't want to be out there, so that's why they take drinking, the drugs and addictions, basically.
It's not done me mental health any good, you know. I suffer from chronic depression and that.
It could be because of what people have gone through their lives, or it's just because of boredom. It's either boredom or it's just like, well, I don't work, I haven't got any family around me, so I've got a bottle of Stella or something, you know. There's nothing wrong in it. You know, it's when they're depending on it and they've got all these problems going through and they don't have that alcohol. That's where the big problem lies. It's where they don't get their fix or their cravings, and that's where people tend to commit crime.
I've had jobs because of mental state and lost them, ended up back on the streets. You know what I mean? So I've been on ESA until last week, and now they stopped me at ESA, but I'm not fit enough to work. But they still, they don't understand. The authorities don't understand like mental health and homelessness. You know what I mean?
Maybe I'll go in there just to stay out of the way, have trouble off the street, read books and stuff like that, and just hopefully if I can get a room or something, and just go from there, then obviously I can start to look for work, try and set a amount of hours what I can do first, and then just build up my hours, and then try and get fully back into permanent work.
I believe by helping other people is going to help me to reform, and that's the reason why I do it. Because I hate to see people suffer, like I've suffered myself, you know what I mean?
I really enjoyed it. You know, it's not something I want to do, but it pays the bills and it's talking to people. You know, anything's better than sitting on that floor.
Anything that's going to bring a certain income in you, doesn't matter what it is. It's just work at the end of the day, it's an income. And I tend to find sometimes out there that there are people that don't give you chances. And that's another thing that I find is a battle for myself, and that is sometimes if I've asked for stuff and that and it's not happened, I feel there's like a rejection within myself, that no one's given nobody a chance to even prove yourself, or just to say, right, I'll work for you for a week, and then obviously if you think that I'm good enough for doing it, then obviously the chance is there to help me get back into employment.
I haven't made up my mind what I want to do yet, but anything just outside, hands-on, giving something back to the people who have given things to me. I strongly believe that they deserve something back. Because I've had a lot of help out there, but compared to some people, it's been difficult. I don't want much from the future, I just want basic. I just want to get back into work and just to have a roof over my head, and then I can focus on getting a family and, you know, sports. I just want a basic lifestyle, you know. I don't want this homelessness. This is horrible. It's messing my head up. I just want to go back into work, housed.
I do like Milton Keynes as a place, you know what I mean? It's just the people who look down on homes they get upset about. Got the posh ones and all that, you know what I mean?
A lot of them just look down at them. They kept saying it's your fault you're homeless because you want sort of drink drugs, which I never took in my life. So I was quite good for not going on the addiction side. But people used to annoy me because, and that's what I used to come up with, go and get yourself a job and all this sort of thing. It's your own fault.
I think they fear for themselves, to be quite honest. Like I said, they're only a couple of checks away from being on the street. They look at people thinking, oh, it's never going to happen to me. But I want to say to them people, you could be in this situation next year.
So then you lose your car, your house, and then they're on the street this house, because a lot of people don't like having to speak about it, because a lot of people tend to look down on them, which it shouldn't be happening. So.
Disgusting.
It really angers me. I would try and get an old building or a massive stately home, something like that, and bring a load of homeless people in and sort them out. He's not out there sort of all year round in the cold and all that, wet and snowing and all that.
I think that is a real big problem. Is people looking for flats, people looking for single rooms that I'd say 90% won't accept people on benefits.
Sad, to be honest with you, that a little bit of money coming in, I mean £1 million to the council, they probably think it's a lot, it's probably a drop in the ocean. A little bit of money gets priority over people's health, safety and welfare is a joke. It is a humanitarian crisis. There's people dying out there, people getting raped out there, people getting beaten, spat on out there. Yeah, they might be drinkers, yeah, they might be drugs, they've got problems.
Well, obviously I'd build more social housing. That's what I would do.
One, there's not enough housing. There's not enough housing. Secondly, Milton Keynes is an ideal place for, I mean, everyone that works in London are high earners. But the low earners out of the high earners, which is still quite a bit of money, it's more affordable for them to live in Milton Keynes, and with only a 35-minute commute to London. So they can earn their big money in London and then come over here and live relatively cheap. Yeah, but I think that's a problem throughout the country. And I think the government has shifted the onus on social housing more to housing associations.
Housing advice could be there as well, try and help them out. They need to pump more money into the situation.
Well, why are they making us be like this? Why are we being controlled by them, being told and told what to do, struggling, trying to turn everyone against everyone, and just wasting government money when they can do a lot more with it for the homeless.
But there's too many houses being built to go onto the sales market, and just not enough social housing.
The rich are getting rich and the poor are getting poor. We're living in desolate times now, and that we physically need help and support. And without that support, where's that hope?
Until people start looking at it really seriously, then it's not going to, nothing's going to change. If anything's going to get worse.
Well, at the end of the day, they've got to build more houses for social needs. That's because all the people building the houses are private people, private companies, people like that, through investors, and all they want is their money back, is make a profit. Do you know what I mean? And there's going to be more money in building houses like they're doing now than in building social housing. So that's why they need an incentive to do it.
It's corruption, isn't it? And people just want money. That's all that's about. That's what it's all about, isn't it? It's money, literally. How many people died in the last 2 months? 3 and 5 last year, and we're only in February, so.
I'd love loads of lottery money to come into Milton Keynes or wherever, Northampton, and just get everyone off the streets, you know what I mean? Give them a better life.
If everyone brings their ideas into one place, it'll make life so much easier.